Araceli. I am the new Linkages Program Director at CFPIC. So it's great to have you all here for the new coordinator overview session that we're going to have today. As you heard Dana say and Andrea started the recording, we are going to record this and it will be available on our website in the future. Just a little bit of housekeeping. If you all can please update your Zoom label with your name and your county and your program, that'd be great so we know who's here and where you all are coming from. And if you're able to, please keep your camera on. We would love to see your faces. And then because we have so many folks on today, if we can try to stay muted, but please share by using the chat. We'd love to have dialogue going in there. Very quick introductions. I already introduced myself. I'm joined by my colleagues, Dana Fabella and Andrea Lewis, and you'll be hearing from both of them in a bit. We're hoping Melissa joins us later, but we're not sure if she'll be here. So you get us today. With that, we'd love to know who's in the room. So if in the chat, you can put your name and your county and your program. And a fun little icebreaker, if you can also tell us how did you get to be the linkage champion for your county? All could do that. Start to see folks' responses coming in, hopefully.
I do know a few people were voluntold, but most of you are just champions because you love the program.
Welcome, Solano. Welcome to the collaboration and welcome to the new coordinators orientation. You guys joined just in time. Yay, Suzanne. I'm glad to see that you got in.
And Brian said he loves the program. That's how he got to be the coordinator.
Oh, voluntold, but not upset about it. Thank you, Jen. Go Amador.
Love the program.
Oh, I like
Love
the way
that.
Lisa says that. She says she was invited to be on the team.
Raquel says, applied to be the champion. So that's awesome.
And of course, our Felix in Riverside, wonderful Riverside, said he was offered the opportunity to develop the program. That was great. Others. I was appointed and glad of it. Eunice from Fresno.
Shasta said it was inherited.
Colleen, that's Colleen said she was voluntold, but she's very happy about it because she's very invested in managing the FR caseload as the line staff. Kern, Liz says that it was one of the best ideas programs out there. Great.
Brittany said, I have no idea how I got here.
But happy. So that's great.
Raphael was invited from LA by her manager. Nellie Yola was appointed. So clearly, different ways people came into the role of coordinator for their program, whether you were welfare to work or on the the child welfare side. So we're just happy. However you got there, you're there. So we're happy about that.
Great. Well, please, if you haven't had an opportunity to introduce yourself in the chat, please do. I'm quickly going to go over today's agenda. So in a moment, I'm going to hand things over to Dana, who's going to talk about the linkages coordinator role. And then Andrea is going to take us through some CFPIC coordinator supports. And then we have some great champions that you are going to hear from. And then we'll have an opportunity to have a peer discussion. And then we'll close out at the top of the hour. So again, welcome to the new coordinator overview. And I'm going to hand things over to Dana.
Hello, everyone. This is exciting for me because I just love and have loved working with the coordinators through these many years, and we've got some really great ones you're going to hear from in a moment. But just what we see as the linkages coordinator roles from our point of view. So your responsibility, I'll use it that way, sort of statewide, is you're the point of contact for your county and that program for us at the statewide CFPIC folks. and that you gather and share support resources for your staff. We send you information all the time, and we want you to share that out with your team or others in your county. So we're also sharing resources for the Linkages Toolkit. So we want you to know that they're there, and we want you to share them out with your team. And we're always sharing county examples, and we want you to be able to share your county examples so that other coordinators, your peers, can hear about what you're doing in your county. So we really hope that that's one of the roles that you will take seriously too. We've got a lot of great coordinators that have helped us put together all kinds of meetings and convenings, and without that, we would not be able to really do the kind of support activities that we do without our linkages champions out there. So that's part of your role. The other part is we expect at the county that you then guide your implementation team. Whatever strategy you decide to implement in your county, we're hoping that that's what one of your main functions is to help that team keep on track. You want to coordinate any linkages practices that are going on in your county. You want to make sure that that your staff on both sides understand what their roles are. So you become that hub, if you will. And as that next bullet says, you're brokering that communication between child welfare and the CalWorks program. And whether you're on the child welfare side or you're on the CalWorks self-sufficiency side, you become those brokers of communication. And you begin to identify the training needs that your staff need in order to implement your strategy in your county. And of course, one of the things I love is you advocate for linkages. We think that's really important for you to be the face of linkages in your county, and that your staff know that when they come to you, you're going to be you're going to guide them to the resources that they might need. So you're an advocate. So that's what we want from you. So what do we provide you in exchange? What we do, we have, and we're going to show you in a moment. Andrea is going to go through some of these tools, but we have a toolkit on our CFPIC website. We do peer sharing webinars like this one. We're going to have a regional meeting later on this month. So we do regional meetings and we do convenings biannually. In 2026, we're going to have an annual convening, a biannual convening. Every quarter we produce a newsletter with lots of information that we try to share with you. We also want you to come and tell us what you're doing so we can share that out through the newsletter. We provide TA implementation guidance. We call it, actually, we renamed it to support guidance. And we manage a linkages safe space. It's a space just for linkages on the CalPrevent's website. And I'm going to have, let's see, Andrea's going to walk you through the toolkit. We'll start first with the toolkit. She's running the slide, so she's toggling back and forth a little bit.
Tell me. So I have also dropped the link in the chat if you guys want to follow along a little bit. I'm super excited to have you all here. When you come into our linkages space, I'm hoping that you all can see this okay. You'll see the linkages space here. And
Yeah.
here you can see the toolkits. So this is our linkages project. And then you'll go into the toolkits. We have our assessment and planning toolkit. This goes over any and everything you need to get started up and running for that first time. You can do a readiness assessment if this is your first time through linkages, or you can do a renovation assessment if you're going to relaunch or make some different changes or have some different ideas that you want to have. We're always talking about the work plan. We'll talk a little bit about the work plan today, but we do have a work plan workshop that we're scheduling for June 17th to come in and start, working on that work plan, different work plan examples, and then you can customize your program. So these are just, this is the assessment toolkit. Each toolkit has different great things for you to pull from. This is the communications toolkit. Here it talks about customizing your program to meet your needs. We have different trainings that are available. We have some different success stories that you can come in and look at. Really good to create and build buy-in. throughout your districts and in your county. Different key messages. The linkages brochures are here. Dana's motto with linkages and CFPIC has always been to steal shamelessly. So this information is here for you to look at, to use as resources, and to use in your county. Don't reinvent the wheel, just come in and change the wheel's colors if you need to. So that is the communications toolkit. When you're ready for an evaluation, currently CFPIC is doing an evaluation for linkages with 3 counties. When you're ready to do an evaluation just within your county, there's some information here that can help you get started with that. The training toolkit, CFPIC Linkages team has put together some different training curriculums. We currently have 3 that are available right now. Your RTAs, your regional training academies, can put on this training for you if you reach out to them to schedule, or you can do it yourself. All of the information is here at your fingertips. We have the linkages overview, which just gives a full overview. We have the CalWorks and emergency services. And then we also have the coordinated case planning. And anything that you would need would be here. So that's our training toolkit. And then last but not least, our prevention toolkit. And this is where we're trying to grow from, right, with Linkages 2.0 moving forward. Currently, we have our protective factors brochures listed here, along with some different customized examples that other counties have taken the protective factors brochure and utilized it for their county needs. So anything related to primary, secondary, or tertiary is listed here. There's some different policies and procedures that you can pull from for different ideas that are available there. And the same thing for here. So lots of different resources for you to utilize right here within the CFPIC Linkages website. Aside from the toolkits, we also have different events like today. This webinar will be posted on our Linkages website along with whatever resources that we share with you today. And you can come in like we did the Family Reunification AB 135. You can see the webinar recording with the presentation slides and any resources that were provided. Um, Whatever it is that we've done, if we've recorded it, it's listed here. We do peer sharing calls along with webinars for information. So just showing you the toolkits, and then this would be under the events for our webinars and events. This was our linkages convening that we did in 2024. You can come here and grab all the information that was given during that convening. And then our newsletters. Every quarter, we do a newsletter. We are going to release the spring newsletter within the next couple of days. You should receive that via email. But it's also listed here. All of our newsletters are listed here, and each newsletter has not only a success story, but some different tools and resources for you for your linkages implementation strategies. So that is our linkages website in a nutshell. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this because I do want to also show you all CalPrevents. Give me 1 second to pull that up. Here we go. I'm going to drop the CalPrevents link in the chat. If you are not a member of CalPrevents, please send an email over to Andrea Lewis at cfpic.org and we'll get you into CalPrevents. Give me 1 second to pull that up. I am hoping that you all can see this okay. This is our linkages space in CalPrevents. This is our community. This is for the linkages collaboration. This is for the coordinators and their teams. When we ask for a coordinator, we are expecting that 1 or 2 people from CalWorks side of the house and child welfare side of the house to come in and then decimate all of that information to their teams. But CalPrevents gives a space for the teams and the coordinators to come in. It's a great one-stop shop for any and everything related to linkages. So first I'm going to show you the resource hub. The resource hub has what I showed you on the website, we've been trying to go ahead and build it here as well. So if you're in CalPrevents, you'll be able to see anything related to CalWorks FR AB 135, anything related to the fall regionals that we did and recorded, along with any materials that were shared. Our convenings are listed here. You can come in here and look at different, and this is just like information regarding best practices, key ingredients, our current evaluation. I haven't built that through yet, but it's going to be there. And then the resources, the same toolkits that you saw on the website are also listed here with a link directly to the website. So if you're in here and you're already moving around, you can just go ahead and come over to the resource hub, click on the assessment and planning toolkit, and it'll take you to the toolkit that's listed on the website. Our peer sharing calls and webinars are listed here by clicking on that website. And then a coordinator's roster is listed here. And oh my goodness, I learned how to embed you guys. So you can come in here and I do update this at least once a month. I was just notified of new coordinators today, so this list will be updated soon. And we want you to be able to reach out to each other. This is your peer networking space. And so reach out to each other and communicate with each other right here in CalPrevents on the conversation board. Now, this is the place to be, right? Um, when you come here, you have the ability, like Gloria from LA, she came in and she asked a question related to AB 135. This question goes out to everyone in our linkages space. How you have your notifications set up matters if you receive a notification as soon as something is posted, or if you have them set up, then you'll get a notification in the end of the day saying this is your CalPrevents activity for the day. So please come in and respond to Gloria. She's asking a question related to AB 135, and she's saying, has anyone posed the question? And so what we do is I come from CalWorks Welfare to Work side of the house. Dana and Jennifer come from the child welfare side of the house, but we don't really want to answer policy questions. So what we do is we go ahead and we send it up to CDSS. When CDSS responds to us, we come back and we provide that response. And so you can come into CalPrevents and get that information once it's posted. And you can
I just
tag each
can I
other.
just
Uh-huh. Go ahead, Dana.
Andrea, I just want to also say that part of it is you. Well, we're not going to quote a policy. We have to be really careful of that state policy. We want to make sure that we're not stepping on CDSS toes, so to speak. But you all can talk to each other about how are you doing it, Gloria in LA, and Felix might say, well, in Riverside we're doing it this way. That's different, so you can share what you each are doing, how you interpret that in your county. So we really encourage you to talk to one another because so much of this is how your state, how your county interprets that policy. So you're open to sharing with one another, and we're very comfortable with you obviously doing that. I just wanted to add that because it's not only just the policy response from the state, it is how are you interpreting that at the county level, whatever county you're in.
Correct. Dana is 100% correct. So like I said, if you would like to join CalPrevent Space, send me over an email. Thank you, Dana, for putting my email address in the chat. And I see you, Daisy. I'll get you added. Um, but that is CalPrevents. And so, like I said, that's that one-stop shop community for you guys to be able to come in and have those communication conversations with each other. We don't want to be left out, but we also want to make sure that you don't have to have a middleman. If you have a policy question, if you have an implementation or a procedure question, and you want to just ask your peers in your region or across the state, that's a place that you can do that. I am going to jump back into the PowerPoint. And this is our open office hours. So we provide 1 hour sessions for you all to be able to reach out regarding any type of implementation support that you may need regarding your work plan, AB 135, coordination, collaboration, buy-in, staffing, whatever it is that you may need help with, please feel free to reach out. We do set these open office hours up um, at least 2 months in advance. And so currently we have these open office hours set up through May 29th, and we will continue to add hours as we move forward. If you need additional time or these times do not meet your scheduling needs, please send an email and we will attempt to accommodate. And I do feel like we kind of rushed through some of this webinar today, but we did that because we really want you to be able to hear from and spend some time with our Linkages champions. Dana?
Thank you, Andrea. So anyway, as I was saying earlier, we are very fortunate to have some great linkages coordinators and some real champions. And so we've got more than these 5 counties, but we're very happy that when we reached out to them, they said yes, they could. They would be there. They would be on today to share their experience. So we have Calaveras, Humboldt, Los Angeles, Riverside, and Tehama. So I am going to introduce them in a moment. So we have, and if you can highlight them, Andrea, so that they'll come up on people's screens. Maylee Johnson from Calaveras, Colleen Ridlin from Humboldt, Gloria Giacchini Rojas from Los Angeles, Lisa Duran from Riverside, and Lisa Matheson from Tehama. There's our champions for today. We really appreciate you being here. We've got some questions for them, and as you hear them speak, if you have questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll take a look at those questions, and at the end, we do have some time for some questions and some reflections. So we'll gather those chat questions for at the end of their sharing their experience. So I'm going to start off with Maylee. I'm going to ask you a question, and the others can join in if they want to add something. So, Maylee, what has been rewarding about the linkages coordinator position for you?
What's been really rewarding just in general, so I'm the deputy director over social services, so child welfare and adults. And I think what's really been rewarding for me is collaboration is my jam. So if anybody's worked in any spaces with me, I'm a very collaborative person. And this approach to the work for families just made a lot of sense to me. Coming from the child welfare side, we are already bringing families in at their lowest and telling them they have a very short time to change their entire lives, right? And having multiple people that they're working with and multiple systems they have to access, it's setting them up for failure rather than success and self-sufficiency. And so it really has just been very rewarding to see the benefits for families when they're not juggling as many things during crisis. And Linkages 2.0 is even more so for me because the prevention aspect of this is so great that in Calaveras, we're even looking at bringing in our housing folks and because they have separate case planning and it's opened up a lot of conversation around linkages is CalWorks and child welfare working together, but it's also so much bigger than that, right? Our eligibility staff and our welfare to work staff are our biggest prevention team. And how do we capitalize on what's already there? So it's the linkages approach and the process to this collaboration is just it really makes sense for me and my team and for what we're trying to do. So I really think it's a good benefit for families.
Right. Thank you. So with the family in the center of all that, I don't know if anybody else wanted to add to that, or you covered some of the exciting things about being the lead for a project like Linkages. Why don't I go to Lisa Duran on this one? Lisa, what does championing linkages look like to you? Like, what do you see when you say I'm championing this? What does it look like?
Hi, everybody. Lisa Duran from Riverside. I am representing Welfare to Work, but I do have an eligibility background. And championing to me is passion. Passion and a drive to help people. And once you have that, then that's the start. and starting at the top. So buy-in. We always talk about buy-in in Riverside. It's really important to have everybody's buy-in from top to bottom. That upper level executive team is going to give you that support that you need with resources and funding if it's available for your county. And then for leadership, because it has to be, they have to support the personnel that's going to be selected for this. And then speaking of personnel, you want to have people in place. I always say the right people in the right place at the right time that are going to deliver that customer service to the customers. So you really have to have people that care, that are going to like weather the storm. They're going to remain sympathetic towards these families, even after seeing it time and time and time again. It's a different scenario, but like Maylee had mentioned, we see people at their lowest. So if you can, remain sympathetic to that, that is right there is just cause. So again, that passion and the drive to help people. And then she had also mentioned collaboration. So we have collaboration amongst all of the programs. In Riverside, we have monthly meetings within each program for our liaisons that are really the champions in their program, and keeping that communication piece going. And then we also have meetings with everybody involved. Like earlier, Gloria had asked a question about how would you handle this situation? And we have such a collaborative effort here that through the monthly meetings with program specialists, policy is included. It's really creating a networking bond where we feel empowered to, just ask each other, program specialist policy, email them directly without having to go to your supervisor, go to your regional, like to get permission. And it's just something that's really streamlined in this process to really help that customer on the back end as soon as possible, get those changes made in policy when they need to be made or adjusted. And just having that team where everybody is on the same page with really truly helping the customers and these families in need, that is what's going to really build champions in your team, is having the right people in the right place through buy-in.
Love it. Your passion shows, Lisa. Right people, right place. You are definitely the right person, the right place for for what you're doing. I first got to see Lisa on the video that actually the video is on our website when you did the video for our convening
Oh,
in
yes.
2024. So your passion shows through. Thank you so much. So
Thank
I'm
you.
hearing a lot between Maylee and Lisa. There's a lot of passion, feeling like you want to help the client, the family, the customer. So thank you very much, both of you. So, Colleen, I get to ask you something. How do you build, support, and maintain effective communication with your partner coordinator? Because we remember one of the things we really want is a coordinator from both the self-sufficiency and one from the child welfare. So, how do you build it and maintain it, Colleen?
Here in Humboldt County, we've been fortunate enough to be involved in linkages for a long period of time. My partner coordinator from CWS has actually been involved since the beginning of that, I believe, long before I came to Welfare to Work. One of the things that is important in maintaining the relationship is understanding time constraints and having some patience and persistence. Whenever I can, I try to pick up whatever portions of our projects I can in order to allow some more space for the things that go on with my partner coordinator. Many of the strategies that we have include monthly emails regarding shared customers. We have implemented some visits to each other's meetings. So, for example, we have a Welfare to Work all staff, and our intent is bi-monthly or quarterly for them coming to meet with us to talk about circumstances and goings on at CWS, and for me to join the ongoing CWS meetings. It really is about patience and persistence, and supporting each other when the burdens of the ordinary workflow get to be higher than we can manage all at once. I think we partner really well, in part because of how important this work is to the both of us. like I said in the chat, I did manage the FR caseload before I came into a supervisory position, and I absolutely believe that support of families inside of these times of crisis needs to come along with no judgment. We setting aside the judgment of these families and moving towards a service model that decreases the confusion and decreases the taffy pull of different programs having some involvement is kind of related to CalWorks 2.0's in intentional service selection. And I think that my partner coordinator and I do a really good job of keeping each other informed about our time constraints and giving each other support. Um, and I think that that's the only way that we can do it, really.
Well, I've heard some really neat things that you've said, and some of the takeaways from me and what you said is that thing around patience and persistence, right? And understanding that workload and being able to try to, sort of accommodate for that a little bit. Your passion comes through too, Colleen. And Colleen is on a lot of our committees, and she shares her passion on those committees as well as a champion. So I want to really thank you too.
Thank
Uh,
you.
yeah, that's great. Um, Lisa Matheson, there you are on my screen. Going to ask you a question. So one of the things that we know from our first evaluation is the role that leadership plays in helping you sustain your collaborative because there's so many things that are going on. So I want to ask you this. So how do you keep leadership, the folks that you report to, how do you keep them informed about linkages so that they can understand it and sort of champion it as well? So what's your thoughts, Lisa?
Okay, well, good morning, everybody. And I think for us being a small county, all of us housed in one building really does help. Um, Management, my manager is really familiar with linkages, welfare to work, and I have monthly one-on-one meetings with her. I keep her updated on things going on, and then every email that we get regarding linkages, this call, everything I forward to my manager along with the manager in child welfare. Um, just keeping that communication going. And then at the manager's level, when they have weekly meetings, monthly meetings, if my manager and then the child welfare need to take something forward to our deputy director or director, they can do that at the time. So just keeping them informed of things. And like I said, us being in one building does help because if there really is something that I need to talk to the child welfare manager about, I can walk across the building.
And that's
Um,
that is
so
a plus
back to that communication piece, I think that everybody said too is huge. And our advantages being a small county and having that buy-in. Um, from our director, down to the deputies and the managers.
So keeping that buy-in, it sounds to me, is that you make sure that they're informed. You keep them informed.
Yes,
Do you use the newsletter in that way too, Lisa?
I do.
I see heads shaking from all the yay. That is a major communication tool, and it's one of the things
Mhm.
reasons we really love when you all send a success story because I know you like hearing from one another. I know you just love hearing from us, right? But I know you really like hearing from each other. So we appreciate those success stories. So thank you so much, Lisa, for that.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
so last but not least, this last question here is for Gloria. Gloria, so one of the things that we at the project always talk about is the work plan. So what do you see as the benefit of having a work plan?
Hi, good morning, my Linkages champions. Thanks for the invitation. I hope I don't have too much echo here. But I wanted to thank you all for the invite and thanks for the question, Dana. I'm a big advocate for the work plan. I do see that as um, developing that and with CFPIC's assistance for those that haven't done it or have delayed in doing it, it's we use it to guide our work. So if you need help in developing it, I will volunteer Andrea Lewis and the CFPIC team. In no time, they will help you put that together. But I think it's important to develop it as a team, and it helps to guide the work that you do, in your county. And it helps for you to have those shared goals because, like Lisa mentioned, and, my other partners here, is if you're in the same building or you're the same individual that's working on the Cal Work side and the child welfare side, it's much easier to do things. Whereas for us in LA, we're two separate departments. And we're two separate coordinators trying to put everything together while managing other responsibilities, or projects. But that welfare to work plan is really pivotal to help guide the work that you do. You can use it to set up, your standards for communication, for your policy updates. I have here, to guide, the work that you do within your projects. And currently with our efforts to implement AB 135, how you put things together and how you communicate it and, utilizing the little tools like Cal Prevents or making those calls to your county partners, stakeholders. I think it's a fabulous tool to have available. And for us to share it with CFPIC keeps us accountable. So if we say we're going to perform all of our site visits, depending on how, vast your county is or how tiny, will determine how much time it takes for you to do that. But it'll help guide you with, the work that you're doing. And I think it helps again with the accountability piece because then you can say, we failed on this one or we didn't get to all of this, but let's push it, let's roll it over to the next year and make that work. I think we were in LA, it was a little bit more like, oh, let's get this done. And we were working it through like the fiscal year versus the calendar year. And so, I can tell you right now, with all the changes that we've been undergoing right now in LA, no one is perfect. We're late, but we're still working on, the responsibilities that we have, how you develop, your projects. And in addition, for us in LA, we have a separate team that's incorporated into Linkages, our line staff that we have Linkages gained social workers that are stationed at the DCFS office, at the child welfare offices. So their manager plays a part in our work plan too, because we incorporate the work that they do or that he does by managing his team, because he should be a part of that process, working with us to provide trainings or policy updates, inputs to that information. And it keeps us all honest, right? We would hope that that's what it does, is that it makes us working towards helping these vulnerable families, shows our efforts. And it's nice to be able to have that communication with our partners, like Colleen mentioned, or it helps with letting our managers know when we're managing up or across, over, up and down, to let everybody know, what are you doing? How are you managing that? What is it that's going on? So I'm a big advocate for it. I think that it's a very important tool to have. And, I highly encourage all my partners to do the same if you haven't already. Thanks
Gloria,
again for the invite. Oh, and then just to support what Lisa and Maylee and Colleen were all mentioning is we do share our linkages updates with our immediate managers. I'm a level one manager, so I'm always giving division chief input, what we're doing with linkages. We share that in hot topics, our own individual success stories, and our divisional newsletters. So I promote and I just want everybody to be a champion because I think the work that's being done is fantastic, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And I appreciate everything that we're doing together and the support that we get from CFPIC, and I hope everyone else can do the same and appreciate it the way I do. So thanks.
Gloria, well, we appreciate you. That is for sure. And thank you so much for that around the work plan because I heard what my key takeaways not only is it holds you accountable, but it allows you to celebrate successes when you've reached the milestone, when you've done what you said you were going to do. But it also is informative to your leadership to know, yeah, this is what we're doing, and to your partners to actually see your own progress as you start to implement your strategies. Um, I am
Dana,
going and
Dana,
yes.
may I add, uh, the work plan. The work plan has been absolutely critical in establishing, being able to tell administration what we're going to do and what we're going to need in order to do what we're going to do. And it has outlasted the change in administration across the aisle for us, which means that I have this set in motion. You're coming into this position. We have this set in motion. We're working on these things. We're going to need media to do this. We're going to, and this has been such a relief because making progress, not having a work plan that's been approved by administration that was two heads back is uh it gives us the duration for this for
Love
these
it.
changes that we're making. So I just wanted to say work plan's great and CFPIC is beautiful about the support in that. The TAs are great. All of that is absolutely critical to get the support that we needed in order to keep on moving.
Well, we
I was
appreciate.
gonna just add what Colleen said too around like the sustainability of it, because as leadership changes or managers change or supervisors change, it lasts throughout. And it also, just from a child welfare perspective, it really adds a component of creating shared language and shared understanding. Because the child welfare space, we have a lot of acronyms and verbiage and words that we use all the time. Welfare to work may have the same acronyms, but they mean completely different things. So the work plan really helps everybody to get together on the same page and use words that make sense to both people to help eliminate the frustration and work through it in a more collaborative way. But that is a really good point. Also, when you're sharing it up to new directors, it helps to provide the support for the programs in terms of like funding for different things and things like that. Especially in these budget climates, because if you get a director that's more focused in a different area and they're not really as familiar with eligibility or welfare to work or child welfare, how we can help each other and how we can use funding to help the same families and things like that, because we have different resources, is also really important for managers and directors to know. So just being able to share that information as you're talking about coaching up.
Well, we so appreciate the cheerleading for the work plan because we're going to have a June webinar on it, and we can walk through that for those that haven't done a work plan before, and we'll show you how to use it, how to think about it. And so we're excited that we've got a little bit of advertisement already. So I'm going to turn it over to our new director, Jennifer, to do some reflection questions with folks. Questions. Jennifer, you're on.
Thanks, Dana. And thank you to all of our champions. That was super helpful. So we just wanted to start off and open it up if anybody has any questions for any of our champions. Dana and Andrea will help me kind of manage the chat. So if you guys have any questions for the champions, please feel free to add those in the chat. This is our time to be able to ask them any questions that you might have.
We're watching the chat. Anything you want to ask them?
Yeah. So thinking about the championing role, what can you do in your agency to bring visibility to linkages?
And this is for the participants.
Yes. Anybody.
Our champions, they've told us a lot of ways they do. When you think about it as either somebody that's new to the program, what do you think you could do to bring some visibility to it in your own agency?
Oh, you guys are too shy. Maybe we're just thinking and typing, but we did leave about maybe 9 or 10 minutes available for this section so that you all can have the opportunity to ask those questions and don't be shy.
And if anybody has the burning desire to get off mute, we could do it that way too. Hear your voice.
Yeah, just raise your hand, come off and put your picture back on because we couldn't see your hand if you didn't have the picture on.
And maybe while you guys are thinking about that, one of the things we were just talking quite a bit about was the work planning. Does
We,
anybody have any challenges that they have in the development of a planning document when they think about work plans?
before you go to that, we have
Yep,
Eunice
great.
has your hand. Eunice.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Fresno County. So, just to bring visibility to linkages, we did like a mass training for our department. So that includes like all of child welfare. We did it in 2 days. It was half day trainings. And then after that, we did like an all staff training that we sent online. So it was just like a 10-15 quick little rundown, what to do if you detect like a linkages case. You email our inbox that we have set up. Um, oh, and then also to mention during our trainings, we have like a desk guide that we give to staff. And then in regards to so then that kind of explains like, this is what a linkages case is. This is what you do if you detect you have one, let us know, da, 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 da. And then for the participants, I've ordered pamphlets. So we created like a pamphlet, just kind of what linkages is, what the benefits are if you are a linkages participant. So we ordered those pamphlets that we're going to put in the lobbies, and then we will be handing those out to like any new cases that we have. So really it's just information, like go, 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 go. It's exhausting and draining, but we go, go, go every day. And then it's like, it's just not stopping. We do have our meetings. It was bi-weekly, but we had linkages meetings where we had management and staff from eligibility, child welfare, and welfare to work. And we met and we just like, what can we do better? What's working? What's not working? Writing our policy, writing our procedure. And so this year has been a lot of work, but we're definitely seeing the outcomes. We're seeing more families reunified. We're tracking the families that are keeping their children in the home, what services helped them with that. And just seeing that collaboration really coming to life. So it's just really just not stopping, not getting comfortable, finding new ways to kind of get that message out. A lot of training, a lot of pamphlets, a lot of handouts. So Canva has been our best friend. And
That's that's for
So,
sure.
Eunice, sharing is caring. And if we could get a copy of that pamphlet, that would be exciting.
I do have the PDF version, so I can email it to you, Andrea. We do have the order in process, so I'll send that over to you.
That's
That's
great.
We did kind
excellent.
of copy Riverside County, FYI. Thanks,
Hey,
Riverside.
you stole shamelessly. We love it. We love it.
Sorry. Sorry, not
Oh,
sorry.
no, it's no sorry. No sorry. That's
That's
purpose.
no problem.
We have
We're happy to share.
Jennifer in the chat. There's some,
Yes.
read those
Yeah, it
out.
looks like so we have ensuring that we share all information gathered from this platform with our stakeholders and regular communication between eligibility and child welfare. Thank you, Solano. Humboldt Ads AB 135 is ringing some hefty visibility, I'm sure. Talking about it, reminding folks what linkages is and how it can assist families. What has been helpful for us is talking about linkages. So that's a common theme. We have discovered that our newer staff wasn't aware of the support linkages provides, and our staff and our families until we begin speaking about it. Posters, flyers, or any kind of visual documents that we can place around the agency. Many workers receive lots of emails, so it's hard to track, but when people walk around, posters might help. So there you go, information talking about it, posters, pamphlets. Humboldt also published a linkages pamphlet and mission vision guiding principles, and it was part of your work plan. That's great. Thank you, Humboldt. And then LA Child Welfare is promoting successes and changes via in-office newsletters, roadshow presentations, fact sheets, brochures, sharing at Children's Court, and utilizing parent partners. That's fantastic. This is all great, great information. So I hear talking about it, don't stop talking about it, and have lots of information around for people to see.
Great. They're good
Yes.
ideas.
Absolutely. And as Andrea said, please share your things and we can, put those in our Cal Prevents and then you guys can go in there and steal from each other. So that's another really great way to use that space. Um, and then let's see. So we have a few more minutes. Going back to work planning. Anybody want to share what your challenges are in development of a planning document? Um, and or has anyone used the work plan to track and celebrate successes? So anybody want to talk about their work planning experiences?
You know that our champions have had that, but do others? Has it been a barrier in some ways? Have you had a hard time getting started with a work plan? Or maybe you didn't even know you should have a work plan. And we'll talk more about this in June. You'll have a chance to really work on one if you haven't before. We've got a hand up. Whose hand is it? Oh, Gloria, please.
It's me. I just thought it'd be important for us to share, with our partners that in through this process of developing your work plan, there's challenges because you got to get everybody available and on the same, on the same timeline, to get through that. But I thought that I think it's important, for us to look at the benefits of having that work plan. I know that it's we might have some shy people on there not understanding it, and we want to share it and not feel like we're being redundant with how we praise it. But I think it's a really, honestly, it's a valuable tool. And I appreciate the support that, that we get from CFPIC in the development process of it. I think it's a really valuable for us to be able to share what we like or don't like about it, because there's just some things that you may not even be thinking about while you do it. It gives you so many different parts of the process when you look at it. When you open the blank template, communication, great, check. How you do staff management, whether or not you're planning on using some type of funding to make your linkages work, or if you just incorporate it into the way you do your business in your county. But I thought it'd be important just, for everybody to just chime in and, we want to hear how to make things better and we want to get your ideas too, because, I think it's important for us to be able to share and see what works for everyone works for one may not work for others, but it's important for us to hear from everyone. And, I just wanted to chime in. I know I had something else to say, and of course I lost my train of thought. I got too many things going on. Thanks.
Like what Colleen put in the chat too. Colleen said that you got to setting good timelines is feels impossible sometime, and so you set a timeline, but you're lenient with yourself if you can't make it. I mean, but you at least you had that goal in mind that you were going to have it done in 3 months, whatever the V was, and you didn't do it. Why not? Then you evaluate and then you can extend the timeline. There's nobody on your shoulder saying, why didn't you do this? It's not like you're going to get an audit or something. It really is a planning document for you.
Well, I love that Gloria said, making sure that CFPIC has a copy of it, holds them accountable. And I was thinking like, but we don't make you do it. So I love that that works for LA County and many other counties. We do ask for a copy of that work plan. For various reasons. One, we can see what you're working on and be able to be available to talk to you and prepare to talk to you about those things that you're working on. And two, it's just a nice file folder on the outside in case you have some different type of attrition or you lose your files or anything goes on. Know that CFPIC has a copy of it for you.
So
Um,
we just have a few minutes left,
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Yeah, I was just going to wrap that up by saying, yeah, thank you, Gloria. And, please, everybody, think about this and come to the June webinar on work planning and, utilize us in the implementation support sessions to help you. So thank you all for your time and attention today. I'm going to hand it over to Andrea to wrap us up.
So with that, this is the end of our webinar. Please fill out the survey. That is what helps us to know that we did a good job or that we may need to work on some things. I did put the survey link in the chat. This is your way to exit. Once you complete the survey, you can go ahead and leave the webinar. Thank you for your time today, and I hope that we were helpful with you being new coordinators. We appreciate you.
And I would also just put a plug in if the registration for the May regionals will be out soon. You've got to save the dates. Hopefully those dates are on your calendar, and that'll be a time for you all to come in person in your region. So you could see each other in person, and us. We'll be there as well. So we're excited to see as many of you who are able to make it to the regional meeting in your area. Thank you again.
Thank you, everyone.